So, hello and welcome back to Gumadee's Coins and Banknotes, and today we are looking at some new purchases and just a brief review of these banknotes. Okay, so the first two banknotes we have are German Deutschmarks, and these ones can still be exchanged at the Bundesbank. So you got the Deutsche Bundesbank, that's who issues them, and you can, I think it's 1 mark 95 Pfennig to €1, so you can still change these, and you can also change the coins of the Deutschmark. So all the Deutschmark coins, while they're not legal tender, you can still change them. So that's just a little bit of info. So I just had a little look at who this guy is. He is a mathematician, physicist. He studied the Earth, and he was an astronomer. So he's done a lot of scientific things. And here we have the normal distribution. So that's in a graph, and it has the formula as well. It's pretty basic, but there's about 100 mathematical concepts and other type of concepts that are named after him. So they have his name at the front, and his name is Carl Friedrich Gauss. So what looks like a B on the end is actually double S in German. So when you look at languages, make sure you know how to pronounce them, which I don't. So this one has an exchange rate when they're in circulation of about 10 Australian dollars, probably a little bit less. And this one is from 1991. So this is the fourth version of banknotes that Germany issued under the Bundesrepublik Deutschland. So as far as I know, if it's not demonetized, then you can still exchange it at the Bundesbank. And the watermark is also Mr. Gauss. And at the back, we have various buildings of Göttingen, so that's where he spent most of his life, especially at university. So one of these should be the university, but it looks like we have the cathedral, which most towns have. Probably also the town centre, municipality, and everything else. It's quite a nice banknote. I like the way they design it. It's similar in style to the old Australian paper banknotes. And on the back, we have a type of compass. So this is a sextant. Okay, they use these on ships. Now I'm not too sure exactly how to use this. All I know is that they use the stars to get a bearing on whatever they were surveying, and that was the astrolabe. So this one is a bit different, in which they use it to survey the coast, but it was also used for astronomical sightings as well. So I just read up a little bit about it. It's a little bit of confusion, but this is a multi-purpose object. Anyway, if I'd ever get one, I'll probably just throw it in the rubbish. It just looks like too much work to actually use. And now we have GPS. So here we have, looks like a star chart, or if looks like a coastline. And so they're surveying the coastline. And yeah, we've got Hamburg, got Bremen, but I'm not too sure. So here we actually have the North Sea. We have probably not North Sea, that's on the other side of Denmark. Oh no, getting confused again. That's the North Sea, the other side of Denmark's the Baltic Sea. And we've got different points from one area to another. So that's all I'm going to say about that banknote. This is beyond my depth of knowledge. So on these banknotes, you got, how do you, scientific objects. You have a science. We have copyright. So Bundesrepublik Deutschland, and we have history, as well as we have science. So get lots of things from a banknote. So that's what a banknote is. It's about history as well as science, culture, You've got linguistics as well, so we do have the language on them. So this is the 20 mark, first issued 1991. So German fourth series of banknotes were issued either in 1989 or 1991. And this is the 1993 version, and once again, it can also be exchanged at the Bundesbank. So this one has Annette von Dorster-Hülshoff, and 1797 to 1884. So she was what, 51 when she passed away. It's a bit sad. So she's been deceased a lot longer than she was alive, and that's definitely what everyone's going to be one day. And in this banknote, in the background, we have the buildings of Mersburg, and the buildings are related to the people. So this person was a poet, novelist. Ooh, she's famed for her lyric poems, her pastorales, no idea, and her ballads. So ballads are songs about a story. And she was a composer of classical music. Obviously, she's not well known these days, but she pretty much probably spent a lot of her life in the city of Mersburg. Never heard of Mersburg, but anyway, it's quite nice. Looks like should be a nice place with a lot of nice medieval architecture. And on the back we have a quill, which is just a feather you use to write with. We have, looks like, now the tree in the back is a birch tree, and it's from one of her novels, The Jew's Beach. And people might think, oh, that can't be good. All of this is just a murder mystery novel. The name has the meaning of the name, Jew's Beach. Probably at the time, not too sure if it meant anything, but now, after all these events, we try and avoid something that implicates Jewish people in a bad light. But anyway, that's just a book. If you want to read it, look it up. And then we have the stamp of the German Bundesbank, and the watermark is also her in a wig. But anyway, it's quite a nice banknote, equivalent to about 20 Australian dollars, and you can still exchange it for a little over to 10 euros. So that's a nice banknote. And then we have an old 20 Reichsmark banknote. So this was printed in 1929, probably issued sometime later. These ones have a watermark, so this one has D. And we have Mr. Siemens. So if you know the company Siemens, he was the founder in 1847. And also Siemens, the unit to measure electric conductivity. So obviously he's had one thing named after him, and also the company. So the unit will stay around probably a lot longer than the actual company. So these ones suffered from inflation because of the Second World War. There was excessive currency printing. Obviously they withdrew all the silver coins, issued just base metal. That was Europe-wide. And there was very few countries that didn't suffer from inflation because of that time period. Countries that managed it better were Austria, because they exchanged banknotes and demonetized these ones pretty quick, as well as the Netherlands. A lot of the other countries were pretty slow in doing that, so inflation got a handle and took hold. Also, I'm not too sure about Denmark. Denmark probably did the same thing, as well as Norway, but I don't think so. I need to look that up. Anyway, so, and this one has, I like this one because the back of the banknote has embossed. So this, if you run your finger over it, you can actually feel it. And yeah, but still not a very expensive banknote. In this condition, probably about $5. Here we have allegorical feature. It doesn't represent any person. This just says you go to prison if you print this banknote, forge it, But 1945, these are pretty worthless. Okay, the next one we have. Oh, also, you can't exchange these. You can only sell them. Okay, the next banknote we have is the second Austria shilling. So these were issued in 1984 up until 2002 when they removed the actual banknote. There's Eugen von Bauer. And these ones can still be exchanged at the Austrian National Bank. So, like Germany, you can still exchange Austrian coins and banknotes. A lot of other countries you cannot that adopt the euro. So that's all we have on this side. And we also have, looks like the symbol for medicine. Watermark is the coat of arms, and here we also have the coat of arms. And on the back, what we have is the facade of the Austrian Academy of Science in Vienna. So it looks pretty 1800s. You can find all the information on Wikipedia. And there's 3 varieties. So this one has, okay, serial number starts with 1 letter. Okay, serial number starts with 2 letters. Okay, so thank you, Mr. Samsung Update for destroying my video. So we have 3 varieties. So it's one with only 1 letter, and on Numester it says prefix, but obviously you got a prefix and a suffix. If you don't know what prefix and suffix is, it just means prefix is before. So we are talking about before the numbers. Suffix is after the numbers. You can use it in lettering. And we have a security thread. So there is a one with probably a prefix and a suffix. I've never seen it. And with the one with the 2 letters, there is a 24 and a 20mm wide serial number. Okay, so now using my trusty IKEA ruler. This one seems to be from letter to letter, probably about 21mm. Yeah, starting from letter to letter. So if you're starting from letter to letter, it's about 20. So whoever makes these is a bit confusing. Anyway, so if you wanted to buy one of these, probably paying about $15 in this condition with a $10 face value in Australia, or about, I think it's about 13 shillings equals €1. So this one's, probably about 6 or 7 euros if you want to buy that for face value. Okay, the next banknote we have is from Italy, a 10,000 lira, and the 10,000 lira was first issued in 1947. So here we have symbols related to the maritime provinces. So we should have Genoa down below. We should have Venice, probably Pisa, and some other place. And the person we have on it, if we look on the side, is Alessandro Volta, and obviously the power volt is named after him. So he was a Italian chemist, physicist, electricity and power pioneer. So, and all of this stuff. So here we have an electric battery, one of the earlier types, which he helped invent. So with these, most of these gadgets, there's really not one person invented. They usually take concepts that were known and combine them. And President of the Royal Society, which is in the UK. Okay, so yeah, born in 1745, died in 1882, 82 years old. So there's lots of information about him. As well, you can learn a little bit of Italian. So, 10.000 obviously is 10,000. 10 is 10. mila, 1,000 lira, io casire. So you can learn a bit of Italian. And we have the printer. So Cimarini Incorporated. And we also have information about the bank. Where's the date? I'm looking for the date. Okay, so here we have the date on this bank. Okay, so 1984. So that's a series, not the date it was actually printed. It could be printed any time afterwards. And on this side, we have a nice building in, probably, it looks like traditional. Okay, Tempo Voltiana in Como. Okay, so it's neoclassical style. It was completed in 1927, and it's dedicated to Mr. Volta, so the guy who's on the front. So that's some history, and it's a museum. So that's a museum of probably works related to Volta, but probably just science in general. And looks like this might be the ceiling, and we have other features as well. So this one has an equivalent Australian exchange rate of little under $10, but if you're going to exchange it into euro, you need 1,936 lira equals €1. So this is roughly about €5, but you can't exchange them at the bank anymore. So really, it's just a collector's item. If you want to buy it, you can pick them up for probably about $10, I'd say. Still exchange rate. So with inflation, you lost your money. So it's really not worth keeping this stuff unless it's uncirculated. And the last one we have is a 2,000 peseta. And roughly about 80 peseta was equivalent to $1 Australian. So this is roughly about $20. So you can get two different varieties. So this one has the quite clear segmented security thread. Well, it's just a security thread really. So this one's from 96. If you're missing that, then it's probably from 1992. Okay, this one has another scientist. So this guy was also a priest. So he's in priestly robe. And his name is Jose Celestino Mites. So I know how to pronounce the J in Spanish, but not the rest of his name. And his name is down there. That's pretty unintelligible. So anyway, that I presume that's supposed to be his name, but it's really hard to say. Oh no, here's his name. So he was born in 1732, passed away in 1808. Spanish priest, botanist, mathematician, significant figure in the Spanish-American Enlightenment. Obviously, that's died away. One of the important authors of the Spanish University School in the 1800s. So in the 1800s, Latin America was going for a renaissance. And obviously, he's not Latin America, he's Spanish. Obviously, on the Spanish banknote. But even Spain was a beacon, but now Spain's pretty much just a backwater. Doesn't produce much. And the watermark looks like the guy's head as well. So, I know, head of brother Bartolomeus de la Casas. So, I don't know who that guy is. You can look it up. Probably quite easy to look it up. And all these banknotes just have this serial number sequence. And you can probably buy these for about $20 in this condition. There shouldn't be anything special about these banknotes unless they're rare. And on the back we have a globe, him examining a flower under a microscope. Obviously we can just use phones now. And he has a quill pen in his hand. So obviously that relates to his botany work. And also he's a significant figure in the Americas. That's why you have North and South America on the map. Looks like we have a flower, probably one of the flowers stylized. And on this side we have a lot of other features. Royal Gate of Charles III, so that's that. Doesn't look like anything special, although it has wide gates. And the main entrance of the Botanical Gardens of Madrid. Cover work of Jose Celestino Mutis. History of quinine trees. So that's probably what that is there. Oh, look, we have a symbol of the Scouts. Okay, Spain coat of arms, which they use for the Scouts now. There's a Spain coat of arms. And that's a fleur de lis. So, anyway, so it's quite a nice banknote. And here we have some information. Okay, it's obviously related to his botanical work. I don't speak Spanish, so I can't read it. Plus, it's in cursive, so a lot of people these days would not be able to read that. Okay. De les árboles de quina. Okay, so that's related to his work on the quina plant. Anyway, so that's basically my review of banknotes from the pre-Euro era. So most of these, except for the 20 Reichsmark, were replaced by the Euro. And only the German and Austrian ones can still exchange. The Italian and Spanish ones you can't. Anyway, thank you very much. Have an awesome coin and banknote collecting time, and take care.